Hello everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the era of AFM. And today we are talking about another important topic for the examination. The important topic that we're going to talk about today is depreciation and its accounting. Acha, what do you mean by depreciation, everyone? Do you know depreciation is basically, acha, I bought a phone. I bought my phone last to last year. It's been 2 years that I'm using the phone. If I ask you to buy the same phone from me and I bought it for maybe around 10,000, then will you buy it for the same amount? I don't think so. If I bought it for 10,000 after 2 years, you'll be like, ma'am, I'll give you hardly four for this. And that too is even more because after 2 years, things have changed a lot. So I'm not going to buy the same phone at the same price. That means the reason behind this is depreciation, usage, wear and tear. Then, even if the seal is broken, then even that particular phone is considered as a second hand phone. And psychologically, we are like, this is not first hand, this is not new. So anything which is not new, whenever we buy those things, obviously the value of those things would be less based upon the technological changes due to the usage, due to the wear and tear, it gets scratches and everything. So that particular value reduction is called depreciation, everyone. So we have depreciation and its accounting. Acha. Now, this is how we define the area of depreciation. But then, how do you define depreciation? Depreciation is the reduction in the value of the asset. For example, this particular truck, if you're using it, then due to its usage, obviously, when we bought this at that point of time, maybe it would have costed us 5 lakh or 8 lakh. Now the value has reduced. The reason is it has been used for a long period of time. It has traveled. It has been having the service cost, repair cost. All those costs are already included. So that's why when we talk about this particular asset, always remember depreciation is always on assets. So depreciation will be a part of your operating cost. Basically, if I'm losing the value, I'm not paying it to someone technically. I don't pay any money to anyone. You know, if the amount is rupees 10,000, I am not paying the reduced value of 6,000 to anyone. That is my loss. That is why it is considered as a cost because we are using it in our business. Anything which is used in the business will have a specific cost. Then the next point is it is reduction in the value of the asset. In this case, the value of the particular thing goes down, right? Then the second point is the decrease in the value of the asset is due to its use caused by wear and tear or by other reasons. It can be wear and tear because we are using it due to its usage, due to technological obsolescence. Or technological obsolescence means, matlab, there was a time we all had Nokia phones. My Nokia phone had a Symbian technology. Now what we are using are Android phones and Apple, right? So all these things, iOS is there. So when we talk about all these things, these are new technologies which came up. And then even in the iOS or in the Android phones, every single year there is a new major update, a new major software coming up. So technically the previous softwares are slower, the newer are better. So that is the point where you find that this particular decrease in the value of the asset is because of all these reasons. And decrease in the value of an asset is gradual and continuous till the time the thing is used in the business. Obviously, the loss is of the business. The value that particular vehicle is used in the business. So the vehicle is used in the business. So the price of it has to be charged in the business itself. So that's all about depreciation, everyone. Now let's move on and talk about the next point. That is, how do we define depreciation in a simpler manner? It is basically decline in the value of the asset because we are using it over a period of time. So typical car depreciation over 20 years normally, currently I think the cars are, people are using it for max 15 years, right? After 10 to 12 years, people tend to change it because of the repair cost and service cost, which is way too high. So when we talk about the depreciation, depreciation is value reduction because, and we will spread out the particular loss. We are not going to take the loss in the first year itself, but we will spread out the loss over the time span of that particular asset. So if I buy a particular property, land doesn't have depreciation, right? Why? Because if I buy land, land has been there for years. There has been centuries. The earth is so old. So we cannot say the as the earth is getting older and older, technically with that particular thing happening, land is getting scarce, and due to which the price of the land as a particular resource has declined a lot. So technically land is the only thing that doesn't depreciate. Everything else does. For example, the equipments that we are using, the particular phones that we are using, all those things that we have are considered in the area of depreciation. Okay? So depreciation, what is depreciation? Depreciation is decline in the value of the assets over a period of time. Okay. Now comes the first question, everyone. The first question relates to the area of what is the primary objective of depreciation? To increase the market value of assets, to spread out the cost of long-lived assets over the useful economic life, or to eliminate the wear and tear on assets, or that is the last one, to generate the additional profit for the business. What would be the answer in this case, everyone? When we talk about the area of the primary objective of depreciation, the primary objective of depreciation is definitely to record that we are using something in the business, and obviously every single day if you're using it, its value is declining now, so value decline has to be recorded properly. So technically in this case, to spread out the cost of long lived asset over the useful life. So in this case, depreciation aims to allocate the cost of long-lived asset over its useful life. Okay? Now comes, okay, when we talk about an asset, for example, I bought a car for 10 lakh rupees. It was worth rupees 10 lakhs. So technically every year it is used by my it would be used by the business. It is estimated that after 10 years this car is going to be scrap. Okay, so then that means normally the life of the car is definitely more, but let's assume that. So technically the loss every year should be booked as rupees 1 lakh. That is a non-cash expense. I don't give ki acha the value of my car has declined by 1 lakh. This is my 1 lakh for you. I don't pay the money to anyone. Right? This 10 lakh would be just recorded in the books of accounts. Okay? So then, according to the Institute of the Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, how is depreciation defined? A reduction in the asset value due to market fluctuations, a loss incurred when selling a fixed asset, a provision against the loss of capital that is integral part of the conducting business, an increase in the value of the assets over the period of time. When we talk about the depreciation, it is basically something that I can consider that since we are doing the business, obviously we would face certain losses, isn't it? So this particular definition of depreciation would be related to the area of it is a provision. कि ठीक है, every year we will reduce by 1 lakh and every year we'll try to save rupees 1 lakh. So after 10 years, at least whatever money we have got, we can buy another machinery. ठीक है? That particular thought process. The definition emphasizes this definition emphasizes as the provision against the loss of capital during the effective commercial life of the asset. Which of the following is not a cause of depreciation? Wear and tear due to actual use, a flux of time, obsolescence, or the area of increase in the market price. Which of the following is not a cause of depreciation? Acha, when we talk about depreciation, causes are many. Wear and tear is something that we did in the very beginning. That was taken from the book itself. So wear and tear is a part of it. Then a flux of time, time passes and obviously the value of the thing goes down. At one point of time, the value of one particular thing was so huge. People just loved it at one point of time. So demand was more, people used it more, it got rugged, it got used. Then is obsolescence. Obsolescence means over the period of time technology gets older and then people think it's time to scrap it up. And then comes the increase in the market value. So in this case the correct answer is D, increase in the market value. Okay. The market value has nothing to do with depreciation. Market value can change over the period of time, but if I'm using something, its value is bound to go down. That's one of the realities about the particular things. So in this case, the correct answer is D. Acha, now comes the point, what is an example of efflux of time as a cause of depreciation? Wear and tear due to usage, a car brought in 1972, losing its value in 2022, accidents damaging an asset, or new inventions making an asset obsolete. When we talk about this era, what is an example of efflux of time? That means the time is passing. So when we talk about the time is passing, that simply means in this case, it is a car brought in 1972 losing its value in 2022. Though if it's a vintage car, obviously the value is going to increase. But again, that is a part of market value. That is not a part of your regular usage. So when we're talking about the regular usage and all, then obviously the value has declined. But if you look at a vintage car, it is a win-win situation, right? Okay, now comes the next point, everyone. The example given illustrates how the mere passage of time can reduce the value of an asset. Acha. Next point, in which cases do assets generally appreciate? Not every asset appreciates, right? So land and old paintings, machinery and equipment, building and furniture, and all types of assets equally. In which cases do assets generally appreciate? Assets will always appreciate. See, land and building, land is something which doesn't depreciate, right? So appreciate means the value increases. Depreciate means the value decreases. We just saw it now. Depreciation is the value reduction, and appreciation is the increase. So in this case, land and old paintings are to be covered in this area. So in this case, the land and old paintings are mentioned as examples of that the assets may appreciate. If there was a very renowned painter, I think many of you would be knowing about him, M.F. Hussain. Mr. M.F. Hussain was such an extraordinary and exceptional painter. He's painted a lot of paintings. Now he has passed away. So if there's any painting that we'll find, for example, even regarding the oldest paintings, let's talk about the painting of Mona Lisa, or when we talk about many other paintings which have been painted by Leonardo, then Da Vinci there, right? So if we talk about Da Vinci was the person there. I think not only that, there were many other rare people who have done that. I'm not sure about the Leonardo there. I think that the name is different for sure. I was just thinking about that particular name right now. Once I'll remember it, I'll definitely share the name. So many of these exceptional painters are there now. So all these painters have definitely worked very well. So their paintings are now increasing. Their paintings are having a greater value right now. That is something that you'll find here. Now comes the next point. What is the primary purpose of showing the correct financial position in the financial statement? I bought my laptop in the year 2020. Okay. My laptop was worth rupees 80,000 at that point of time. It is 2023 going on. Normally, it is expected a laptop's life is barely 4 years. After 4 years, it's just gone. So whatever the price is, if I paid 80, after a year, I think after 2 years, 3 years, the value has declined significantly. So what will I do? I am supposed to show it in the books of accounts. Otherwise, I am betraying the shareholders, because the shareholders would be asking me, sir, you didn't show the true picture of the books of accounts. That is a sin. So, to attract investors to comply with legal requirements, or to facilitate tax planning, or to reflect true and fair financial position of the concern. When we talk about the primary purpose is to show the true and fair view. That means whatever the value of your assets and liabilities are, you should be upfront and clear about it. Okay? That's the purpose of this thing. So now comes another important point. The point says, what does the residual or scrap value refer in calculating depreciation? The initial cost of the asset, or the estimated value of the asset at the end of its useful life, or the salvage value of the asset, or the market value of the asset. When we talk about the residual or scrap value, that means the value that would be there by the end of the life of that asset. So when we talk about the life of that asset by the end, that means we are talking about it has been used for years. So after the completion of that life, when we talk about it, it is the end amount. So this is estimated value at the end of the life. It is also called, it is actually also called salvage value. So all these things are the same: residual, scrap, and salvage value. Okay, this is the value which is there at the end of the year. So I believe B part also satisfies that particular point. This is the estimated value of the asset at the end of its useful life. Now comes the next point: why is it necessary to make a provision for the replacement of an asset? To justify the write-off of in the financial statements, to minimize tax liability, or to ensure the continuity of operations, or to increase the book value? What's the answer there? When we talk about the provision now, the provision for replacement is basically done in order to after a certain period of time now, they see provisions are basically the certain losses or certain profits that you are already making. There's a certainty behind it. So when we talk about this area, that is when we are talking about the replacement of an asset, we strongly believe that our business are going to continue. That means if I bought a particular car for 10 lakh rupees in one particular year, after 8 to 10 years, I bought another car. I have faith that this particular business will outlive the entire situation. So in this case, why is it necessary to make provision for replacement of an asset? It is to ensure the continuity of operations. Okay? It is to ensure the continuity of the operations, because obviously every year if I keep a particular amount separate, so after 5 or 10 years this entire amount would be received by us together, and that would be used further. So making the provisions for the replacement of an asset ensures that the continuity of operations by planning for the replacement when the current assets becomes obsolete. Now, what are the basic factors considered for calculating depreciation? Market value, production capacity, and asset category. The cost of an asset, estimated residual value, and estimated useful life. Historical cost, market value, and economic conditions. Salvage value, depreciation rate, as well as the era of tax implications. What would be the answer in this case? What are the basic factors? Why do we do this? Deposition is definitely, once we understand, but then overall there are more than 10 methods that exist in the depreciation, but in our syllabus barely, I think two are definitely there, and three, I think four or five max. Five are maximum that we find in our book there. Rest every other category is not shown there. So basically they've just shown a part of the entire depreciation to you. Now when we are considering this point, that what are the basic factors considered for calculating depreciation, it is basically to know what is the value of the asset. Higher the value of the asset, higher would be the amount, then estimated residual life and estimated useful life. In this case the correct answer would be B, the cost of the asset, estimated residual life, as well as the estimated useful life. Okay, here comes a numerical question, everyone. Let's talk about this numerical question as well. This is based upon SLM method, original cost or straight line method. Under this method, one specific amount of depreciation is charged every year. We bought Patel Transport acquired a truck on 2019 October. Matlab, 6 months have already passed. They bought it for 4 lakh rupees. And they said the depreciation would be 10%. So technically it's easier. It would be rupees 40,000 in the first year. Flat question. This should be the correct answer and we are done. No. The particular asset was bought on 1st of October. If you have bought it on 1st of October, that means half year has already passed, because our books of accounts are closed on 31st of March. That means this 40,000 has to be done with 6 by 12. So technically my amount is rupees 20,000 of the depreciation for the first year, everyone. Only for the first year, because in the first year we bought it in between. So it is used for 6 months, and it is scrapped off, and then it is being continued further. So in the first case, it is rupees 20,000. Now they say that Patel Transport acquires the same question, and they are asking what is the book value after the second year. Matlab in the first year, if I look at the value of 4 lakh, okay, we are trying to find out the book value. What would be the value in the books of accounts? So first year the depreciation was of 20,000. We have just calculated it. So that means we are left with 3,80,000 rupees. From this 3,80,000, remove for the second year, it is going to be flat 4 lakh into 10%, because depreciation is always on original cost, not on the amount which is left or something else. No, it is always on the original cost in this case. That would be around 40,000, everyone. If it would be 40,000, that means we are left with 3,40,000 by the end of the second year. Done, everyone? Under straight line method or SLM method, what they do is your depreciation is calculated on the basis of your initial cost. The depreciation remains the same. That is, it's constant throughout the particular calculation. So in this case, what would be the correct answer? The correct answer is going to be 3,40,000. Okay, the answer is 3,40,000. And look at this particular question. In the first year, we bought it for 4 lakh, and then obviously it was used for half year. So then we had to take the depreciation only for half an year. So the amount was 3,80,000. Once you're left with 3,80,000 rupees, then what has happened? The depreciation next one time would be 40,000, and it is carried down. Then 3,40,000 and depreciation is 40,000, and 3 lakh carried down further. So that means every single year the depreciation is going to be the same. It is different only in the first year because of the reason that 20,000 rupees is for the half year. In the first year it is used in between, rest after that it is being used completely in the business. Done. So this is where the entire portion of this concept is done. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, then don't forget to join our batches. Our batch for JIIB have begun, and more batches are coming up, everyone. What you can do is you can go on to our website. Let me show you where to go exactly. You have to go on to our website, that is www.adda247.com. As soon as you go here, you will find it in the area of JIIB and CIB. If you open this up, you will find our JIIB, CIB, Mahapack. Under Mahapack, you will find all the classes for JIB. Only JIB and JIB plus CIB and JIB with the bank promotion as well. So you can purchase any of these. Mahapacks are always better because they have more content. That means English medium, bilingual, both available. Ebooks, test series, both available. Then marathons, that is 10 plus hours of mini marathons, 5 plus hours of Maha marathons, both available. Then the previous classes, present classes, and even the upcoming batches, till what time you have your validity, till that particular time, everything is available. So ultimately the Mahapacks turn out to be more beneficial for everybody there, right? And if I'm looking forward towards, say I'm trying to buy JIB CIB Mahapack 2.0, so what I'll do is I'll click on the area of Y541 and apply it. As you can see, in this case you will get a discount of 81%. Sorry, in this case you will get 78%. Okay, so in this case your discount is going to be of 78% if you use this particular code and you apply it. Okay, so you will get the 77% discount in this area. The validity is for 12 months and 12,073 would be the final amount. So you can check it out on our website, on our app. Along with this, if I talk about the only JIB area as well, then only JIB Mahapack is also there, and you can also review the JIB May 2024 classes as well. The bank promotion packs are Lakshay and Achievers batch is already out. From 11th of December, we have started another batch. That means this is the perfect time since you have started it. So you can look forward towards any of the batches in terms of English medium or the bilingual batch, whatever you feel is best for you. So go ahead and check it out on our website or in our app for further details, and you can use the code Y541 to get 78% discount. So hurry up and check it out now, everyone. Till then, we'll be meeting tomorrow. Thank you.